An icon, a visionary, a legend. Ratan Tata is no more. The chairman of Tata Sons, one of the most towering figures in Indian businesses, passed away on Wednesday at Mumbai's Breach Candy Hospital at the age of 86. We are bringing you live pictures from NCPA, where his mortal remains have been kept, where people are pouring in large numbers to pay their tributes. Times Group MD Vineet Jain has also paid his tribute to Ratan Tata. He says, and I quote from his statement, Mr. Ratan Tata was an icon. He was instrumental in not just raising Indian industry to the heights it has come to occupy today, but will remain one of independent India's great nation builders who contributed in very large measure to building India into the great country it is today. He's an example for all of us to emulate. The Times Group and I extend our heartfelt condolences to the entire Tata family, his many friends, the entire Tata conglomerate, and his millions of admirers in India and across the globe. That's Vineet Jain, the MD of the Times Group, paying his tribute to Ratan Tata and extending condolences to the Tata Group. We have Hina also joining us. Hina's also taking us through the tributes that are pouring in. Hina, take us through the voices that are now pouring in.
Well, absolutely. People are getting emotional because I don't think there was anybody that was untouched by, the Tata Group or its products in any way. And tributes have been pouring in from across the world. This is the statement that has come from Mr. Vineet Jain, MD Times Group. And I'd just like to read what he said. Mr. Ratan Tata was an icon. He was instrumental in not just raising Indian industry to the heights it has come to occupy today, but will remain one of independent India's great nation builders who contributed in very large measure to building India into the great country it is today. He is an example for all of us to emulate. The Times Group and I extend our heartfelt condolences to the entire Tata family, his many friends, the entire Tata conglomerate, and his millions of admirers in India and across the globe. So this is the statement that has been released by Mr. Vineet Jain of Times Group. Like him, there are many who have been expressing a similar kind of emotion, that what we are seeing in terms of growth within the country, credit actually goes to, in a big way, to the Tata Group as well. How Tata took India's legacy to the entire world, be it through Tata Salt or the airlines. Of course, now, just before he passed away, we know Air India went back to the Tata Group after it was privatized earlier. Back to you.
Yes, and Hina, we've opened up our phone lines, and people from across the country are calling in today. And like you said, there was no one who was, untouched by the contributions of the Tata Group. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai joining us this morning. Dr. Bagai, how would you like to remember the great legend, Ratan Tata?
Good morning. Heartfelt condolences to everyone, not only in his family, but the Tata as a group and India at large. True son of the soil, an iconic leader, a visionary, extremely empathetic, and a true philanthropist, supporting hundreds and thousands of students for scholarships. My own entire medical education was supported by Sir Dorab Tata Trust, who he was the chairman. My first interaction with him was in early 1980s when I was a young student, fresh out of school. And he never let anyone feel smaller or younger. That was the magic of the man. He had a great connect with everyone. I'm indeed indebted to him for supporting such kind of scholarships. But apart from that, he's been a global footprint leader in not only in automobile, in industry, in manufacturing, in healthcare, the great Tata Memorial Cancer Research Hospital, hotels, in hospitality, in IT sector, and so many other footprints. He's put India on a global map. So I think India has lost a huge leader, a true visionary. One of the finest people. When you look at Ratan Tata or remember him decades later, you'll remember him for integrity, for vision, for dedication. Look at the amount of work which he did during COVID for the entire country. How he stood by every person who was affected during the Bombay attacks in the hotel.
Yes.
These kind of human beings are rarest of the rare. My heartfelt condolences and prayers for the family.
Yes, and Dr. Bagai, like you've been telling us that how you were personally touched by what the Tata Group did and what it means to the entire country. Let's also talk about the kind of contributions that the Tata Group under Ratan Tata's leadership made in the healthcare sector. You spoke about the Tata Memorial Trust and their contribution to cancer care. Could you shine some more light on that effort and what it means to the country today?
Yeah, in fact, my entire medical was just away from the Tata Memorial Cancer Research Hospital in Parel in Bombay. I studied at AEM Hospital and Wadia Children's Hospital, which is just in the backdrop of the Tata Memorial Hospital. It has risen to such global standard. The kind of talent pool which they have, the kind of work which they do, the amount of charity which they do for cancer care, which is extremely expensive otherwise in the private sector. He has never discriminated from caste, color, creed, socioeconomic background, and that's the culture in that hospital there. The kind of work, the kind of clinical results which we have got are revolutionary. He has changed the face of cancer treatment decades back when cancer treatment in India was still in its infancy.
Yes.
So this is the vision of the man. This is the tall stature of that man.
Yes, and like Dr. Sanjeev Bagai says that this is the stature of the man, somebody who changed the face of cancer treatment at a time when it was so expensive. Let's also take our viewers through more tributes that are pouring in and also tell you about the live pictures that you're seeing on your screen. Those are pictures coming in from NCPA in Mumbai, where his mortal remains have been kept in the lawns of the NCPA for people to come in and pay their tributes. And on your screens are those pictures where you can see people from all walks of life coming in. Let's also tell our viewers about some more voices and the way Doins in their sector are now speaking out about or are remembering Ratan Tata ji. Sachin Tendulkar says, in his life and demise, Mr. Ratan Tata has moved the nation. I was fortunate to spend time with him, but millions who have never met him feel the same grief that I feel today. Such is his impact. From his love for animals to philanthropy, he showed that true progress can only be achieved when we care for those who don't have the means to take care of themselves. Rest in peace, Mr. Tata. Your legacy will continue to live through the institutions you built and the values you embraced. And if you are listening to the voices that are coming in today in our newsroom, the same sentiment echoes that this feels so personal, and that is why people are grieving like they've lost one of their own. Viewers, let's also take you through the glimpses of Ratan Tata's life. While he played a big role in globalizing the Tata Group, he is also best known for his very hands-on approach in masterminding and supervising the Tata Nano Budget Car project. In the year 2008, Ratan Tata had spoken to Group Editor-in-Chief Navika Kumar about this. Listen in to that conversation.
Mr. Tata, you spoke about being caught in the political crossfire. But we in India have known about corporate rivalries as well. They've been age-old in this country. What do you think really happened? Political crossfire or corporate rivalries?
Certainly there was political crossfire. There's no doubt about that. That was out in the open. And I think it's an unfortunate crossfire because I think the Nano project can come and go many times in a state. But what does happen is a state like West Bengal requires to rebuild the confidence of investors again, and each one of such events detracts from that. As far as corporate rivalry is concerned, there has been from time to time statements from various sources of involvement in these affairs of fueling the flames or funding the activity by vested interests. They may be corporate rivals or they may be vested interests of one sort or another. And India is a place where this happens, where people stoop to tremendous depths to live with the protection of days gone by.
Finally, in that meeting with the Bengal Chief Minister, Mr. Buddhadev Bhattacharya, what really transpired? What did he tell you? What did you tell him?
Well, first of all, the Chief Minister is somebody I admire tremendously. I went there because of him, and I would be there today because of him. So I would say that meeting was perhaps my hardest meeting that day, because I was, in a way, felt I was having to give bad news to both of them, which is the last thing I wanted to do. And then when I had to tell them that we had a time-bound project and we couldn't just wait, as we had been doing, and the plant had remained closed for about a month, then they started to state quite firmly that they couldn't agree with this decision, and this was a big blow to them. So they were very predictably quite distressed. It's to the credit of both of them that we agreed that we should, while we take the nano project out, that we don't say bye-bye to West Bengal. And that was never our intention. We have no dispute with the government of West Bengal.
It is just the opposition.
It's just the opposition, and quite frankly, we've dealt with opposition before, but never opposition that whose modus operandi is agitation, aggression, intimidation constantly.